3, 4.
We just live right now, man. It's going down, excited for the season. You know, we coming off a playoff win. I mean, you know, we had a couple wins.
Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of Dear Diaries, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast brought to you by us, the staff here at Brew Hooper. This is our second episode, I believe, of our season preview series, and it's been a while since I've been around these two awesome gentlemen, so I had to bring both of them in. We have Jack and Morgan in here to talk about some Bucks-related things and maybe some non-Bucks-related things later. But Jack, I'll start with you. How are you doing? How is things going in the land down under?
Yeah, pretty good. I am really excited to talk to both of you. I was just about to say it's I don't know. Life's been relatively boring for me. Work is the same old work. But at least it's starting to like heat up a little bit here because it was like an icicle for like 2 months now. So yeah, not too bad. But what about you, Morgan?
Love those down under winters. And you haven't been completely lazy. You've acquired some new artwork, which is lovely.
Oh my god. This freaking guy.
I personally am feeling power coursing through my veins. Managing editor Van is out camping, which means that interim managing editor is at the reins, and I don't take that mantle lightly. We got the schedule coming out tomorrow. I mean, that's about as that's a pretty big day on the BH. So happy to be in charge for that, and thrilled to be sponsored by Three Sheeps Brewing, Wisconsin staple. Get your fresh coast.
Oh, God.
And over to you, Jackson. How are we doing? Did you take a cute little first day of school selfie?
Unfortunately, I did not take a cute little selfie. But the nice thing is that I avoided paper cuts by because I had to file some medical things. I was helping out the nurse with like kids who were like didn't have like their physical in or whatever. So I avoided paper cuts. So we're good on that front. But it was a good day overall. Saw some of my students from last year. They were actually happy to see me. So that's always good. Good to have people happy to see you. So things have been good. Busy summer, both work wise and otherwise. So yeah, I'm excited to talk Bucks basketball. It's literally been since I did that recap for that summer league game against the Clippers since I've dipped my toe in the water. So I'm excited to get going on this.
Did that really happen?
I pretend like that fourth quarter didn't happen. I was a little like, no offense to those guys. I forgot how bad summer league can get. Actually, like I forgot.
Full offense.
You know what? Yeah, full offense. That was horrible.
Summer League always starts off very
offense.
hopeful and everyone's really excited, and then like by the like 6th day, everyone's like, "Can we just get out of this? This sucks."
I also want to. I was picking on Jack's background. I want to pick on my own. Great to be doing this pod back home in Wisconsin, in the classic Wisconsin basement, featuring. Wrong way. Featuring warped foosball table that is unplayable and comfy couch. Comfy couch. The couch that used to be upstairs until it got a little too comfy and was relegated to the basement. Nice and cool with the Wisconsin summer.
Yes. Okay.
Is it still summer over there?
Yes.
Sorry, I know we have to get on track.
It is very much summer still. It was like out into the 90s today by me in Illinois. So the summer's still here, even though school is starting, which I hate. But anyway, on to business. On to business. First question for you, lovely gentlemen. What do you? Well, here's this. What do you think the opening night starting lineup is going to be, and what would you prefer it to be, if there is a difference? And then what do you?
That wasn't part of the prompt.
I think it's
Curveballs
fair
are-
enough. I used to play baseball. Got to throw in curveballs every once in a while. And then the same thing, or at least the playoff closing lineup. What do you think the playoff closing lineup will be?
Go Brewers.
No.
Who's going?
Devil magic. All right, go ahead,
You
Jack.
want to go, Morgan? Want to start?
Let's go for it. So, well, I'm ending with a question. Are you ending with a question? Maybe you should start.
Okay. In that case, okay. Oh God, So I think what Doc will do, and I hope he doesn't, but I think what he'll do is he'll do KPJ, Trent, Kuz, Giannis, Turner. What I would do is KPJ at the 1 is your like playmaker and secondary point of attack defender. Rollins at the 2 as your main point of attack defender and a secondary playmaker. I was just thinking about the first 3 being able to do more than one thing on offense. So like this is where like like Trent and Torian Prince and KPJ kind of separate themselves. I have Gary Trent at the 3. I know he's a 2, but I just cannot do another season of Prince at the 3. Like we just know how that's going to end, and I want players that are more dynamic than Prince. So I just like shoehorn Gary into the 3 and like let's just see what happens. And I think that's how they should start, regardless of if they move an actual 3 back into that slot, and then obviously Giannis and Turner at the 4 and the 5. As far as the player, and I for that lineup, I basically just like my playoff lineup is just AJ Green swapped in for literally any one of them but Giannis, depending on the night. So you could literally go small ball with Giannis at the 5, or you could sub KPJ in for literally. Oh, sorry, sub AJ Green in for KPJ, Rollins, or Trent. And yeah, I think that's me. I think that's me done. What was there another question that I missed?
No. That was it. That was it.
That was it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so now I have another question, which is fantastic. I will be ignoring Doc this evening.
Okay.
Take that or leave that.
Sounds like a plan.
My lineup would be pretty similar. Giannis, Turner, KPJ, GPJ, AJG. Brings 3 things. Brings offense, defense, and acronyms,
Yes.
which is important. And I really like that it's like a J, and then a G, but the J is still there. Very nice. On a more reasonable standpoint, that's the lineup that when it was Bobby instead of Turner, obviously wasn't here. They really did good numbers for us. Pretty much the only lineup that did good numbers for us last year. They were also in the playoffs watching that final game with Jackson. They made me remember how to feel, that sports can, transcend the self into the team. And honestly, that wasn't happening when Torian Prince was on the court. Bus him. Yeah, I think that's our best lineup, period. I was really tired of Doc seeming to stick with the starting lineup that made sense as a starting lineup and always starting each game in a hole. I know that there's an argument that you want to have the rotations nice and spaced. Maybe you want KPJ as the playmaker in the second unit, but ultimately, the question that I land on is why these two lineups should be different. I feel like your starting lineup and your closing lineup should be the same. Curious why they would be different, although they were under Sir Doc. And then, can Gary play the 3? That is my other question. Directed.
Yeah, do you want to take this, Jackson?
Yeah, I'll take those two back part questions. I think the thing is, it's just like it depends. I guess the reason there would be a difference between your starting lineup and your closing lineup is like maybe sometimes it could be matchup dependent. Like if you're playing a bigger team, maybe there's like a case where it's like, oh, let's throw Kuzma out there so Gary and AJ don't get beat up by like an Amin or a Sur Thompson. Like imagine they're playing the Rockets and they have a front court of Thompson, Katie, and Sengun. So maybe you throw Kuzma out there for the start, but just to save some of your guys for the end, hypothetically, because that's technically the better lineup. But in real world and like actual like basketball things, like it shouldn't be different because you want to throw your best 5 at the start and then finish. Like that's just common sense. If Gary can play the 3, obviously he's going to be undersized. I think he's 6'4", 6'3".
Yeah, it feels 6. I want to say 6'3". I haven't checked.
Yeah, from what my memory, he was one of the few guys who doesn't absolutely tower over me in the locker room. So
here's my question though: is like, what does Torian do better than Gary other than being a bit taller?
I would have AJ at the 3, and then have Gary and KPJ in the backcourt.
I mean, my thing is, Torian. He's like he is a good standstill 3-point shooter, but in terms of his anything else, like I just don't know. Like you can look at the size and like, oh, he's a 3, but like, does he actually do 3 things? You know, does he do small forward things, or is he just that size? If you get me.
Yeah,
It's that rebound intellect, you know.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think honestly for me, I don't like my issue more with how Torian was used in that playoff series was like he was thrown at the 2 for some reason when Kuz was out there. Like, why is Torian Prince playing the shooting guard? Like, I think he's perfectly fine like as a 3, like obviously off the bench, or if like guys get injured as a starting 3. Like I'm perfectly fine with him as a 3. It's just he was thrown so much often at shooting guard. It's like he's not fast enough to guard guards. Just have him guard bigger wings and you're fine. So yeah.
Give us your lineup, Jackson.
All right. You know what? I know I posed like the difference question, but I'm gonna ignore Doc 2 in this case because he's not shown he's been reliable outside of 1 year in Boston. I'm gonna go. What do I want to go with? You know what? Just because I want to be a little bit different, and I actually think this would be my preferred. I'm gonna say Rollins starts at the 1. Gary at the 2, AJ Green at the 3, and then Giannis Turner, obviously. Well, yes, you get a little bit more creation from Kevin Porter Jr. Sometimes that creation is not attached to a high basketball IQ with KPJ at points. So he's very hot and cold. I like what Rollins brings in terms of his consistency. And I hope maybe Doc realizes like, hey, we need some more scoring off the bench. There's not, I mean, yes, you got Bobby, but there's not a lot of like perimeter creation off the bench. And maybe you have KPJ out there with that. And then I would just swap out Rollins for KPJ in a closing lineup, or heck, even like throw Giannis at the 5 and throw, I don't even know who else. Yeah, just throw Rollins and KPJ together with Trent and AJ Green. Let AJ Green fight for his life at the 4. But yeah, those would kind of be what I would want to see from that.
The way I think of it is kind of like I don't think of it in like positions or anything really. Like I just think of roles. Like, okay, does this lineup have a playmaker, someone who can get into the paint and throw some lobs? Does it have shooting? Does it have attacking at the rim? Like, this is why I think like Giannis and Kuzma should never share the court together, because they do the same thing. And I kind of think the same thing with KPJ and Cole Anthony. They should probably just never share the court together. And then you have like Rollins and Green should also. I mean, these guys are different because they can shoot the ball, which like differentiates them from Kuz and that. But in terms of like Rollins and Green, if you want a point of attack guy at all times on the court, maybe they don't share too much of the court together, or maybe I don't know. If you play them both 30 minutes, they're obviously going to cross over.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just look at it in terms of like, does the unit on the court make sense? And it's easier to make sense when guys can do a bunch of different things. You know, like Kevin Durant can fit in any lineup, but you like Kuzma and Giannis do not fit in lineups together, and so you should just split them. And so, yeah, there's a difference in like the player type, but yeah, that's my main point.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to question numero dos. With Myles Turner involved, how would you have this group of players play on both ends of the floor?
You got it. Oh, all right. My main thing.
You went first the first time.
I have no idea. You pointed at me to go.
Yeah. No. I forgot that I went second the first time. I'm going.
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
I would have them play well.
Nice.
Got
That's
it.
my answer. This is unfortunately one of the questions that requires actual ball knowledge, so I will mostly defer to Jack on this. But offensively, my main bugaboo with this team, and this has not emerged in an article from me because I'm busy trying to get Bango a raise, but the Bucks were first in the league last year in 3-point shooting percentage, and there were not many things that this team was first in the league last year that were actually good. At the same time, I believe they were 19th in the league in percentage of threes in their like overall shot portfolio. And that seems a little silly. Like, we've really heavily optimized having 3-point shooters around Giannis. It seems like we should be using them a little bit more. And I feel like the fact that Myles can both shoot the three, but also be a threat inside to hopefully create more space outside in both ways should be able to facilitate us getting more looks from outside. There was this exact argument, I believe, Michael Pena in The Ringer today called suspect. And to that, I say I'm not expecting them to continue to be, if they're heaving up more threes, obviously at a certain point you need to sacrifice the quality of the look. I'm not expecting them to continue to be tops in the league, but I would be very happy with them sacrificing a little bit of shot quality in exchange for shot quantity. And echoing some comments from Horst in one of the offseason pressers. But defensively, I know even less. I think I wrote down more flexibility besides zone drop or whatever, while also enabling it. I don't know.
I love it. I love it so much. That's awesome.
Oh my
over
gosh.
to our former professional player on
Christ,
the
man.
staff.
All right, you're up, Jack.
Okay. Yeah. Morgan's point on the offense, I agree with. I want them to increase their 3-point rate. I believe I might have written an article about that a long time ago, like before the end of at the end of the season, but I really can't remember. My main point was, and this is like one of the questions later in the thing, so I don't want to go too much, reveal too much on that front. But I want them to it's about moving the ball, and I think a tool that they can use to move the ball is to use Myles Turner as a hub. I think in a way that he differs from Brook is that he has the ability to kind of play a bit more like instinctively. He moves faster, he can pass better. And so I think in my larger point that I want them to move the ball and move man and move bodies, I want them to use him to enable them to do that. And because I think he's different from Brook in that way that he can really play as a hub, and he's a good instinctual player. Like he can set flare screens with him and set on balls, and he can pass out of the short roll and stuff. So yeah, my main thing was just I want them to move the ball more on offense and then play with Myles as a hub in order to do so. On defense, I just want them to. I wrote rediscover the core elements of like the Drew Bucks, and so essentially we don't have like the kind of, I say this respectfully, but like the somewhat of a defensive liability that Dame was out there. And so can we get back to good point of attack defenders? Obviously not to Drew's level, but we have good point of attack defenders, guys who are getting better with each year. We have drop bigs, and then Giannis can play the free safety role. And so like, can they look at what they did from like 2018 to 2022 and really see if they can replicate that with the current the current players?
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. I didn't even like consider them like this whole thing of like getting rid of Dame and getting that perceived upgrade at center with Myles Turner as like a way to like go back to what they were good at, and the style that won them a title. I think they could, obviously, like you said, not to the same level, but I think with maybe that rededicated focus, that I don't remember exactly where they finished in defensive rating last year, but I think maybe they could be an above league average, because I feel like they finished like right around average, like between 18 and 16 or something like that.
Why do I get the number that it was 12? But I literally can't remember.
Yeah,
Anyways.
somewhere in there, but pushing that to like being at or near the top 10 in defensive rating and just rededicate to that. So I think that could happen. As for like playing style offensively, I like the idea of, and this may be a little simplistic, but they have been playing 4 out, 1 in a lot, obviously, with Giannis mainly on the inside and Brook and him switching in and out from who's on the inside and who's on the outside. But I'd like to see it more. I'm interested to see how it would work with now Myles being in there, and the potential for lob plays with Myles as well in there, considering how athletic he is. But overall, outside of that, I agree that they should be top 10 in 3-point attempts this season. There's no reason basically, I would say everyone on that team is about an average or an above average 3-point shooter on that team outside of Jericho, Giannis, and Kuzma. All those guys. Oh, no. Who knows? Maybe the summer workouts will actually be right, and Jericho's will hit 35% of his threes on like 3 attempts a game or something. Who knows?
I thought you were going to mention Kuzma's YouTube series, which I've been tuned into.
Oh no, the less I see from him, the better. It's like It's like the Marjan video series, but with like less religious overtones. That's how I see Kuzma's series. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how they shape the offense. And again, they should be top 10 in 3-point percentage or 3-point attempts. And then defensively, I just want them, like I said, to rededicate their efforts on that. And honestly, in most cases, depending on who they're playing, build a wall. You have two guys, like, finally use what has been used against you. Build the wall. You have Myles Turner. You have Giannis. You have some better perimeter. Oh my gosh. Point of attack perimeter defenders out there. So rebuild the wall. What we need to do. Rebuild the wall. Build the wall.
And I want to echo not having Dame out there on defense is going to be a game changer. And you can read more about that on brewhoop.com from our own Jack Treehern. So stay tuned for
coming up in a couple weeks. Yeah,
part 2 and part 3. Look out.
Subtle plug.
Appreciate it.
I just want to shout out to our sister website that we are not obviously affiliated with, but
Very true.
happened to all right for.
Oh my gosh. Well, from one member of the front court to the next, obviously the main thing with Dame now gone and not another true all-star next to Giannis, at least on the perimeter, it's going to be a lot of point Giannis this season, as much as KPJ and other guys will handle the ball. And we may see usage rates somewhere in the level of Houston, James Harden. But predict Giannis's stat line for this year, including points, assists, rebounds. I'm assuming this means blocks and not stocks per game, and his usage rate.
It's combined. That's actually one of my several questions.
Yeah.
Oh, it's combined. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Stocks. Yeah.
Oh, so steals and blocks. All right. So what are we thinking for a stat line? Morgan, you went first last time. Jack, you go.
This type of question I'm just not good at. I checked Giannis's historical stats. Gosh, I did this a couple days ago. Okay, so he's averaged like, I believe, 30 points over the last couple seasons. For some reason, I've got here that who averaged 28 points per game. So maybe that was foolish of me. I had a reason for that, but I honestly can't quite remember. His assists. I should really get up his stat line here. This is bad podcasting.
I got you. Did you
All right,
want
I'll just go,
his last year's or?
Yeah. Give me last year. Yeah.
He averaged.
Do you want me? I can. Well, I'm gonna. Can I take the mic?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Love numbers.
This is a Morgan question.
Yes.
So, my mindset answering this question: number one, big. Number two, Myles will take a few more rebounds than Brooke. 3, in my infamous piece about rounding, and how it was really silly how many decimal places the NBA rounds to in the stat leaders. I was very liberal with my rounding, which I think those were my criteria, leading me to 30 points a game. 31.1 is his career high. And I round points to the nearest 3, hence 30. So generally I was staying near the top, but rounding down. For rebounds, he peaked at 13.6 in 2019-20 and has been between 11 and 12 since then. So I felt good with 11 rebounds. Assist wise, he actually peaked the last 2 years with 6.5, which was during Dame Fest. I think for that one, I even went up. I think I'm feeling 7 because I want him to be passing to open shooters for threes. For whatever stocks are, he's the top end of his range was 1.6 steals and 1.8 blocks ish, which I combined for 3.4. Again, whatever stocks are. For usage rate, he's been between 32 and 38.5 since 18-19. Feel like you could argue that'll be higher because we have no one else. But if he's passing, technically that usage is going to the threes. So I felt like 33 was reasonable and a nice round third. And then I also wanted to throw in minutes and put down 32. He maxed out at 36.7. Minimum was 34 besides his rookie year. So I wanted to keep it on the lower end of that spectrum since we have depth, I guess, if having a lot of meth players is what you call depth. And also mathematically, like that's 2/3 of the game, which is you get like 1/3 usage rate, 2/3 of game time, just a lot of nice synchrony. So I've got a couple questions after that, but I don't know if you want to spit out your numbers, Jack. Hopefully that helped.
Yeah, that jog. Yeah. So ironically, I had a lot of the same numbers as you, but I just came to them less.
Weirdly.
Like it. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. The opposite of that, actually. So I'll go 30 points. I don't know why I did 28, but I don't know. 7 assists, 11 rebounds, 2.5 stocks. I predict 34% usage, but again, as I want them to move, I don't want him to dominate the ball. I know they don't have anyone else, but I don't think that automatically means that he should dominate the ball. I still think that he can dominate without a ginormous usage, even though there's no Dame there. So I wrote 34% usage, but I want it at like 30 or lower than that. So yeah, that's my stat line. What about you, Jackson?
All right. I will quickly run through mine real quick. I'm going full I know that I agree that he probably shouldn't, but he probably will anyway, that he's just probably going to dominate the ball a lot more than he already did. So for me, I'm saying he's going to set a new career high in points per game. He's going to average 34.5 this year.
Ooh.
I think he's gonna have like a 60 or 70 point game this season. I am feeling it in my bones.
He's gonna meet Santa. He's going through the roof.
Exactly. I'm adjusting the rebounds, I'm adjusting the rebounds. Initially, I had it like 14.5. I was just trying to think of like crazy numbers. But I'm like, oh yeah, Myles Turner actually grabs rebounds more comparatively to Brook. So I'm gonna say he averages 11.2 rebounds, which he basically has done the last few years, like you said. Although I'm gonna say he's gonna have a lot more assists, and he's gonna join some.
Sorry, did you say 11.2 rebounds?
Yes.
This goes
You get very particular.
Superfluous precision. That. Continue.
I'm gonna say, and this will be part of a larger point maybe later. He's going to average a perfect 10 assists per game. I was going to say he's going to average a triple-double this season, joining Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson, and I believe they're in Nikola Jokic. I think Jokic has averaged a triple-double for a season. People sleep on how good of a passer Giannis is, and we saw that during that stretch with no Dame. He basically averaged a triple-double for, I believe it was double-digit games down the stretch. So now, if part of my monkey brain math, just extrapolate that over an entire season. If he doesn't average 10 assists, I think he'll average somewhere between like 7 to 9. I think that is a reasonable expectation and a jump in his stats. So career year for Giannis, I'm going to say like I agree the 2.5 stocks per game. And then I was just curious. I was looking back at James Harden's usage rate when he was in Houston. That year, the year after he won MVP, it was at 40.5%.
Holy crap.
The year he won MVP, it was at 36.1. I'm not going to say it's nowhere near going to get to like 40.5, but I'm going to say in the realm of like 33 to 36% usage for Giannis. I think that is a reasonable expectation.
Wow, that has blown my mind. 40.5% usage. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jackson, you're trying to turn our man into Russ.
Just big Russ. Let's just go for it.
My quibbles would be why assists before rebounds?
Uh,
And I note
well,
that we all led with rebounds in our answers, which maybe suggests that normatively we list rebounds first, but that's besides the point. I took it in stride because I was curious why we combined stocks, and Jackson, you just learned what that is, a magical moment that we all experienced together. And literally, like, we have more offensive stats, and then we like glom the few defensive counting stats that we have into one, because obviously a block and a steal are very similar things. To which I humbly suggest we do the same on offense and call a combined offense stats as poissson.
Poissson.
Which
you're gonna have to expand on that, Morgan.
Keeping on assists before rebounds, you got the pois from points, you got the assists, and the from bounds.
There we go.
So I believe let's see. Jackson wants 34 points a game. He wants 11.2 rebounds insanely. So that's 45.2, and then 10 assists, 55.2 poissons. He's averaging.
Actually, it's 55.7 because I said 34.5.
You said 34.5?
Yeah.
So he's averaging a 50 poisson piece. That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's brilliant.
This is the content you come here for, folks. This is why you listen to Zero Diaries. We're inventing new stats. We are basketball pioneers.
Move over, Bill James. Move over
Bill Simmons. Oh my god. I don't even know how to make a transition from that. So I'm just going to go to the next question. From Poissson to some underrated Bucks. Which Buck do you think will take the leap, i.e., a more significant impact on the team's fortunes versus last season? Morgan, what do we got?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a lot for this one, as for most of these questions. The correct answer, of course, is Myles Turner, because he was not on this team last year, and will therefore have more of an impact on the team's fortunes compared to zero impact. You could argue he had negative impact last year, so he's going from negative to positive. Joke answer number one. Joke answer number two. Obviously, my boy. Who is it, Jack?
Oh, Chris Livingston.
Chris CL. I believe Mr. Irrelevant. I'm sure we all saw him light up Summer League like a candle. Impeccable stuff. Let's see. But in which case, when you are, how are we defining leap? Like, is that just like kind of a linear step that you're taking, or is it more of a multiplicative thing? In which case,
I
when you
would
start
say
low,
like a leap
that's-
in role, like how we saw Giannis go from like a solid player to like an all-star level player.
my real answer is Ryan Rollins. I think that we won't have the weird kind of like two-way dance with the game limits that felt weird. Hoping his health issues are behind him. I think he did have surgery in the offseason. Didn't
Yes.
we see something like that a while back? Dame out of the rotation, which gives him more opportunities. I just feel like all those things combined give him the highest leap potential. I think when you get to other guys, Cole Anthony also wasn't on the team. Like Jericho
Gary Harris.
I'll discuss some other guys below. Certainly not going to be Stanley Umude, you know.
Well, I was about to say that Livingston Amude battle. I lost the battle on that one, but I will win the war when I choose another random two-way player.
Isn't he like ostensibly still on our team though? Right?
No.
No, he's
If it-
not a rostered player right now. I think that's.
But like, don't we have like a 20-person roster right now? I still believe
It's
okay.
18.
this bit must
Yeah.
continue.
I'd love it to continue, but I don't think he's going to. I think he's off the team.
They'll
But
probably get like an Exhibit 10 and play in Oshkosh again.
Yeah.
yeah, passing the baton. Go for it, Jack.
Okay, yeah. My guy was Ryan Rollins too, and I think he's gonna have no choice, but like they're gonna expect him to, like they're gonna be in a tough spot if he doesn't step into the role. He's gonna be a key, like point of attack. He's gonna be like one of the main point of attack guys for the team. He's gonna be guarding the best players, the best perimeter players on the other team. We know there's untapped kind of secondary creator, tertiary creator kind of ability there. And I mean, he's going to get, I mean, God willing, Doc gives him the opportunity. I think he will. But he's gonna have the shot to prove himself. And I think he's going to do so. So, yeah, Rollins, lock it in.
Well, as the old saying goes, great minds think alike. I also had Ryan Rollins as my guy who was going to take the leap. But in order to be a contrarian, I am going to say Kevin Porter Jr., I think, is going to be the guy that takes that leap. I think however you feel about his past previous to the Bucks and the Clippers, that is officially behind him now in terms of like the legal stuff and the NBA stuff, with them saying he's already served his time after missing a season.
Which was super legitimate.
Oh, yeah. I have no issues
No.
with the corporate overlords that the NBA have decided in their decision making. Like, none at all. But now that is in the rearview mirror for him, I would say he, not all the way, but I think he gets pretty close to where he was his third and fourth year in the league, where he was averaging his that last year he was in Houston before things fell off, was he was averaging 19 points, basically 6 assists, 5 rebounds. I don't know if he's going to get up to 19 points, but I think there's a realm where he gets like between 15 and 18 points a game, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, something along those lines. And I think will potentially become more of a consistent player for what the Bucks need out of their potential starting point guard.
That's a good call. He the last time me and you spoke, Jackson, we spoke about his highs being really high, but his lows being really low.
Mm-hmm.
And he just straight up, we don't have time for that this season. Like, he can't have the I recall he had a game when they played the Lakers in LA, and he just looked like he was half asleep and he was messing around the whole game. And then you compare that to his game against the Timberwolves later in the season that Morgan, me and you were on the stream on that one, going absolutely berserk at
The
the
25-point comeback, right?
Yeah. So that's it. Like I think most, like I think they said this on Locked On Bucks too, but his ceiling is just higher than a guy like Ryan Rollins. Athletically, playmaker wise, and then even on defense, like where he can kind of equalize himself, where Dame was gonna like obviously give you much more offense, is can KPJ really like take on a defensive role this season? He's got the ability, he's got the foot speed and whatnot. I just think he needs to lock in, and I think pairing him with a guy like Rollins, that could be a really interesting defensive duo. But that's actually a really good call. I think KPJ, whether he's good, really good, bad, or really bad, is going to be a big impact on. Is going to make a bigger impact on the Bucks' record this season.
Yeah, there's no other way around it. He's more likely than not going to be the starting point guard, and that's going to come obviously with a lot of responsibility, trying to replace Dame as much as he can, and we'll see how he does. That's the only way we can find out.
Cole Anthony would like a word.
Get ready to learn to sit next to Andre Jackson Jr., buddy.
If that.
Cole Anthony's going to be an interesting one. I mean, he's on a 1-year deal, obviously. I mean, he's got all the incentive. He doesn't have any incentive to like slack off, or not that I thought he was going to, but
no.
He could be a steal or he could be nothing. Who knows? But yeah, he'll be interesting for sure.
Who knows? If he doesn't play that well, maybe we could trade him to the Knicks for cash and some other random center that might be decent. Who knows? But moving on from some of the point guards,
we remember you, DeLon.
In that one game, DeLon torched us when they were at Pfizer. I remember that game well.
That was such an annoying game.
Anyway, speaking of Kevin Porter Jr., at least a little bit, rank these players in terms of their importance to the Bucks this season. You have the lovely selection of Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green, and Kyle Kuzma. 1 through 4, rank them.
You go, Morgan. Wait,
You went first on the leap, so we'll go with Morgan on this one.
I definitely went first on the leap. I'm also happy to go first here, though. It's tricky because we all said the same thing. We forgot that we said the same thing.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah. Anyway, just go for it.
Yeah.
Number 1, AJ Green. Obviously, he's a bit archetypical, which I feel like somewhat limits. Like, he's not going to turn into a legitimate star. But he's still young. He inexplicably got jacked last year, so maybe other things will change. And he's year 3 going into year 4, I believe. And I feel like that's usually a kind of take a step year, maybe. That's my logic. I'm sticking to it. Number 2, KPJ. What was even the question?
Rank them in terms of importance.
Sorry, I need to rewind. I interpreted this question as, and this similar to this kind of gets into a later answer. These guys need to make some semblance of a jump in order for them to be important this season. So I ranked them in terms of who among them can make the biggest leap thinking that all of them would leap lower than Rollins relative to where they were. But back to number 2, KPJ. I just feel like he was kind of already crazy good. Lakers game notwithstanding, I had such low expectations for him, and it's all about expectations. So I feel like it's a little bit unrealistic for me to reasonably expect that he will be significantly better, while also, he'll still be important. And then last would be GTJ, because he is, I feel like, relatively fixed, relatively old. Obviously, he's got all of his weirdly named younger brothers. I think that he is kind of where he's at, and I think by the time last season finished, he had found his place. And I think if he improves, gravy. Not expecting him to. He'll still have a role, just not as maybe as high as the other guys can go.
So I'm assuming you're putting Kuzma 4th then?
Who? I ranked my players, and I passed the mic to Jack.
Okay, I love that.
Done, sir. Well done.
This question, I kind of co-opted this question because I admit that I didn't ultimately understand it too well, but
it was pretty tough. Who is most important?
Yeah, but you can look at that a couple different ways. You see, so I looked at it like who has the most downside if they play badly.
Ooh, negative Nelly.
Sorry?
Negative Nelly.
You got to be a positive Patty, Jack. Come on.
Have you seen me on the playback streams?
Yes.
Okay. So my number 1, hilariously, was Kyle Kuzma, because I think his playing well is more important than AJ Green's playing. Like, AJ Green is at the bottom of my list because I expect him to play well, and I know what he does well. Trent is second bottom, same sort of deal. I kind of less so in terms of if Trent tries to do stuff that he's not necessarily that great at. But Kuzma's if they can get good minutes out of Kuzma, that will be massive. So I had him at number 1 because if they get bad minutes out of Kuzma, and Doc is like, oh, this guy makes $20 million, I have to play him 30 minutes a game for some silly reason, then then that's going to have a real negative impact on the team. And then Porter is my second, same sort of deal. If they can get good minutes out of Porter and like we just discussed, get more of the median outcome as opposed to the bad, then that will obviously have a positive impact. So yeah, I kind of you could just flip, I don't know what Morgan's list was like. I can't remember what Morgan's list was like, but it's effectively flipped.
I said it a long
Kuzma
time.
was last, and Kuzma was last for you, and he's first for me.
All right. I also had a different interpretation for this question. But I looked at it based on where I think what their role is going to be and how important that role is going to be for the Bucks to be successful this season. So number 1, I put KPJ. Obviously, I talked about, potential starting point guard, lots of responsibility, not only in ball hand and scoring, but in ball handling as well, and taking some perimeter pressure off of Giannis at points. And again, you have the ball in your hands more, you become more important. And starting point guard is probably the most important role next to Giannis that is an unknown or still trying to figure out, because your starting center is going to be, and that's fairly locked up. You don't have to worry about what Myles Turner's up to. It's what is the starting point guard going to look like. Number 2, I put Gary Trent. I just think that he is going to be a secondary like perimeter creator, or even like a primary perimeter creator. He showed some stuff with being able to pull off the dribble from the mid range, which I did not know was in his bag whatsoever. So seeing if maybe they decide to increase that role this year and potentially do something with that. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think that is going to be a big responsibility. Third, I got AJ Green.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 2 for the 2-level score.
Oh, yes.
It's well done.
That was totally in my brain the entire time. Oh.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Continue.
Number 3. Number 3, I have AJ Green. He is obviously going to be very important, but I think they have enough. They have a lot of 3-point shooters, so he's not going to be relied upon to be like one of like the most important 3-point option. He's in the top 3. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be one of the best 3-point shooters on the Bucks this year, but it is not solely up to him to like hit threes on this team. And I think he's not going to be much of a ball handler at this point compared to like a KPJ or a Gary Trent. And then last, I did include him on the list, unlike some people. I have Kyle Kuzma as last because hopefully the Bucks like decide to make him unimportant and like say like you are backup power forward, like go shoot like 10 to 12 shots a game as like our guy off our big wing off the bench or something like that. Just make him as least important as possible because you will have the most success then because you won't expect as much. And when he goes, becomes the new Tony Snell with an 0 for stat line, it's not going to be as important when he's like your 7th or 8th guy off the bench instead of your starting small forward next to Giannis. So please.
Can I
make
just
the
say,
YouTuber less important?
It is not a good thing that my entire mental health rests on me seeing the opening starting lineup in the first preseason game, and if it reads SF Kyle Kuzma, I'm gonna fall into a deep depression.
Oh my god.
He couldn't, could he? He could. Anyway, he could.
He will.
He could. He definitely could.
He will. There will be a preseason starting lineup with Kyle Kuzma at small forward. I want to prepare you. I don't want it to become like you got hit by a truck seeing that happen.
Yeah.
You have to accept reality.
Anyways. Well, this was good. We had 3 different interpretations of the question.
Look at us go. From basically
in
having
true
the same
Brew Hoop fashion.
Yeah.
Having the same answer for the last one to completely different interpretations.
Unlike our leap monoculture.
Oh, but speaking of embracing reality, we have to take a look at what the Bucks are and what their greatest weakness and strength is. What do you think it is? Jack, we'll start with you.
I think their greatest weakness is how much they're going to be able to score the ball. I mean, do they have enough scoring juice to actually be successful? Which then goes into my greatest strength, which is they should, like, for this team to be successful, they have to be at least a top 10 defensive team. And spoiling my answer for later, in order for them to win the title, they must be top 5 in defensive rating, I think. So high bar. But yeah, they just, I mean, you're going to have to manufacture points. This is where Doc is going to have to get creative with, like, making the sum of which is not a great harbinger. Go on, guys. Get your jokes out now.
No, I love comedy. I'm here for
All right.
Yeah, Doc getting creative. Okay. Anyway, but it's like what Morgan said. Like they're gonna have to get more threes up, and how do they do that with guys who are not really good 3-point shooters off the dribble? Like you don't want Gary Trent and AJ Green pulling up, coming off screens and pulling up from three like Dame does, because they can't do it. So how do you get them looks off pin downs and various screening actions and stuff? And so basically, like, they don't have the natural scorers, but they do have guys who can shoot well and play well in kind of limited capacities. And so how do they expand their volume in those limited capacities, I would say.
I believe this is the first question that we also had last year, which was helpful for Morgan because I could look at what I said last year and then just copy paste. But I zagged a bit. So basically last year I was concerned about what I called middle depth. I said that Pat and Bobby were both washed. One of those I was more correct on than the other. That the young Bucks were too young. And, Pat gone, Bobby's still here. The young Bucks have gotten older. We've brought in a couple of folks. Torian Prince still exists, which is huge.
One of the Bucks of all time.
He is.
Shout out to Riley Feldman on that one.
Yeah, never forget. But basically, that means that for me this year, the challenge is not middle depth, it is upper depth, meaning Giannis is a clear number one. Turner is kind of a 2. And then this actually will come up in I'll hype Finn's Big 3 article for tomorrow. It looks a little shaky after that. We kind of have Giannis clear 1, Turner shaky 2, and then a bunch of like 5s and 6s. Realistically, it's kind of like Gulliver's Travels. You got like Giannis as Gulliver, and then like all the little little guys running around him. So yeah, I mean, I think that related to the leap question, it's a weakness because that's not how you win. It's by having a 1, kind of a 2, and a bunch of like no real 3 and 4. You need to have people to step up, and at least we have a lot of kind of mid options that could potentially make that leap that we just rank ordered. But I don't know. Ultimately, I'm pessimistic that enough of them will be able to make that jump, and finding upper depth is a lot harder than finding like a middle depth sort of player. So, and then kind of on the flip, bringing back again 3-point shooting. I would love this to be a surefire-ish top 10 defensive team. I'll believe that when I see it. The one thing that I know that we can do is put the ball through the hoop from the outside and, let it fly. I think it was literally the only thing that was good that we were top in the league at. So besides Giannis, that's the strength for me.
Yeah, it's kind of for the American football people out there. It kind of reminds me of like the Green Bay Packers strategy at wide receiver. They have a bunch of like number 2s and number 3s, but no like clear number 1 wide receiver. Slightly different, but it just made me think of that. In terms of
just Aaron Rodgers at quarterback and then the rest of the team.
Or at least in this iteration, Jordan Love, if you want to consider him a 1 in that case. Yeah. But what I'll say for their greatest strength, I would say honestly, with Turner in now, I really think their interior defense is going to be really good this year. Like, not that Brooke was a slouch on the inside, but the way Turner's going to be able to just move is going to make life getting into the paint so much harder, because yes, they can still play drop, but now Turner can hedge and then recover on pick and rolls, or he can even like roam over when Giannis can't get over there and contest shots at the rim. So especially against teams who don't have like a 3-point shooting center, which is, I know, is most teams these days, but some of them still don't. So I think that is going to be, between him and Giannis, is going to be like, I think we're going to see something really special from that interior defense. And then I'll hop on everyone else's point about their weakness. I think is going to be like, you're relying on so many like untested guys in bigger roles that it's like, are they going to be able to score the ball enough in the right ways? Because you saw it with the Thunder, they at least had 2 like all-star level guys on the perimeter to handle the scoring load, and then you have Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren and the rest of that team. So the Bucks don't have a J-Dub next to a Shea. They have a Myles Turner and a Kevin Porter Jr. next to Giannis. So that's gonna be my main concern heading into this year, is like, still, are they gonna just like run into the thing where it's like all they will do is catch and shoot threes and not have enough perimeter creation?
I just want to briefly defend my man, Brook Lopez. Feel like I've been hearing us call him slow, and I want to provide a yes and in that. Yes, he was slow, and he froze time around him so that actually when everything is slow, he is not slow.
I just had to clean my glasses. Is Adam Paris on the pod? Is that, did you guys switch places for a second? I need to be sure.
I consider that a major compliment. Thank you.
Well, I guess in the theme of freezing time, people would say that Brook moved at a glacial pace. So.
Ooh. And very, very on brand for a Wisconsin-based team. That's very well done.
Very true.
Yes.
Oh, all right. On to the next. Let's see. What is
I'm
something?
ready.
What is something you hope to see the Bucks do during the regular season, i.e., a point of personal interest that would make watching 82 games worthwhile, aka making a Tuesday night game in Washington in February worth watching? Yes, Morgan.
Teacher, pick me.
Yes.
I have a cute answer at the end of this, but
Okay.
You ready for this?
What's up?
4 words.
Ooh.
Bench. Kyle.
Oh yes.
Kuzma. Permanently. Let me explain. Emphasis on hope here. Listen, so the moment that this man became a Milwaukee Buck at the expense of Milwaukee's finest, Chris Middleton, my friend who is a Wizards fan, and yes, not an oxymoron,
They exist.
sent me a meme from the Wizards Reddit of that, like, kind of like religious meme of like the man looking into the sky with his like chains.
Oh, the shackles. Yeah.
The shackles being broken.
Yeah.
Caption of me realizing I never have to watch Kyle Kuzma play basketball ever again. And it was a strong start. Like, why not? the whole idea that we need to play him in order for him to become tradable, as if playing him
The rest of it, yeah.
as if playing him is going to increase his trade value. Playing him is going to depreciate that value. If it's lower. If it can
The
get
value is in the basement.
exactly like it's not. We are just digging ourselves an even deeper hole. We're going to have to attach even more picks to get some sucker team to take him. He is much better suited as a wild card on the bench. We have enough other options. I didn't even need to rank him in that one exercise. We have all these potential folks who could be important, other folks who have been brought in, people who make leaps, what have you. We have our middle depth down pat to make that jump to the hopefully upper depth. And I don't want to platform this guy. I'll say it. I really pride myself here at Brew Hoop, that we are obviously not affiliated with, being part of what I like to call the sensitive manosphere. You know, just a bunch of guys who, you know, see the humanity in other people. What a concept. And I would rather not endorse otherwise. I think that's just get off his contract and be done with it. In conclusion, bonus though, what I would really love to see, this is coming at you, Jackson. Can you guess? Every Bucks win, I would like Jackson to consume
No.
one Bucks playing card.
Oh my god!
I want it to be, and I think I referenced it when it came up before.
What?
I want a how to eat fried worms situation. Like, I want you to get creative. I want like you to put it in a blender with a smoothie. I want you to like grind it into a vegan. I want.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna let you take your pick. I got 3 of them here. I'm gonna let you take your pick. You either got Kyle Kuzma on the Wizards, you got a rookie Nate Wolters, or rookie Tony Snell.
Oh, dang. Well, I mean, but I was thinking about this. I really don't, as much as this might sound odd considering what I'm asking you to do, I don't want this to hurt you.
Okay.
So I want you to choose whichever of these cards you think will cause the least intestinal damage. Like a nice paper-based card would probably be
Tony Snell. Probably Tony Snell.
Okay. I mean, it'll just be, it's a nothing burger. So it's zeros all the way down. But I think I think that if you do it per win, I really think your body can just get like accustomed to it, right?
So you want me to treat like drinking playing cards like akin to like getting used to drinking sparkling water? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I should have known.
Scene.
Oh my god.
This is
All
so
right.
good.
Yeah, please.
That's so weird.
Let's please move on.
Okay. First off, I co-sign 1000%. Morgan, your point about Kyle Kuzma. It's just like, it is so crazy that like I wrote this in my should they optimize Kyle Kuzma piece. I'm like, the purpose of him on this team is not even that John Horst thought that he could help. He's a human like trade piece. Like,
Or a human.
$20 million. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he's a human.
Let the contract.
A human
expire
apron
and
escaper.
Give me the cap space. I'm over a trade at this point.
Yeah,
like we're not.
But yeah, but like to that point, it's like teams are not trading him because teams are trading him for the pick that they're going to get from the Bucks.
Yeah.
In that deal, they don't care about getting him, and so I co-sign that 100%. Okay. What I had was kind of related to what I said at the start of this podcast is I want them to like make a point out of playing a different way. And like, I want them to be from preseason. I want them to move the ball faster. Like, I have written here, get the damn ball out of your hands. And so, like, I don't want people walking the ball up the court.
Get off my lawn. Move the
Old man
ball.
shouts at clouds. Get the damn ball out of your hands. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's not much really to it. You watched the NBA Finals. I'll tell you what. OKC won that title, but they came very close to going down 3-1 because their process of holding on to the ball and Shea kind of dominating the ball a little bit and trying to go one-on-one too much. That nearly shot him in the foot. And I don't live in the world where the Indiana Pacers won the title, but
Interesting metaphor, by the way. Just want to call that out.
What did I say?
What part of the foot did they nearly shoot themselves in?
Okay.
The Achilles?
Oh.
Oh, okay. Right.
Continue. But.
I was like, did I say that? And then I got the joke. Okay. Yeah. So it just like the future of the game is moving man and moving body, and so it's harder to guard when you singular body there Morgan. But it's harder to guard when the ball moves and players can't just stand still on defense. So I want them to utilize that. And I think they got some good passes on the team in Turner and KPJ. And obviously Giannis is going to create mismatches and draw double teams and stuff. So I just want them to move the ball quicker.
Yeah. I'm not going to echo you, Jack. I'm going to echo 2024 Jackson. Because I remember when I was on the season preview pod, that was my number one thing too. I want them to move the ball. They need to move the ball. They played their best when they moved the ball. And I like to clown on the Bulls, even as a part-time Bulls fan at this point. The Bulls were third in the league in assists per game last year. They averaged 28.9 a game last year.
That's incredible because you have to make shots for the assists to count.
I know.
Very
and
true.
Sometimes when you make shots, you lose out on Cooper Flagg or Luka Doncic or Magic Johnson. But I'm not bitter or depressed about that at all. But like, if it
don't worry,
team
Benny the Bull makes 200K or 400K. Sorry, continue.
The goat.
Everyone go read Morgan's story, guys.
He's a bull,
excellent
not
story.
He's got horns, doesn't he? Anyway, if a team like the Bulls that did not have an all-star level player last year, unless you want to count like March, like Josh Giddey and Kobe White, can average nearly 30 assists per game, then there's no reason the Bucks can at the very least be in the top half in the league. Just listen to some of the teams that were ahead of the Bucks in terms of assists. Utah, New Orleans, Miami, Sacramento, Phoenix, and Toronto, and San Antonio.
What rank were we? Were we 30th? Or you just listed?
Where were we?
21st.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were actually tied for 20th with Boston.
I was literally about to ask where Boston was because they play a lot of isolation too. So
yeah, the worst team in that.
Who are we ahead of? That's good. Let's try
the Dallas, if you want to count them.
No.
The Clippers. Literally nobody else. Like Orlando was last. Then you have Houston, Philly, Portland, and Charlotte as the bottom five.
Okay. I don't know. I would like to correlate that with win percentages.
I don't know about that one, Chief, considering Atlanta, Chicago, and San Antonio were in the top five. I don't know if that correlates to wins.
Like, is that something that we should be trying to excel at?
I think it should be better. I think you should be better than New Orleans.
What was
at
Indiana?
passing
Can
the
you tell me what Indiana was?
fifth.
Okay, right.
Denver,
surprising.
you're the good teams in the top 10. Denver, number 1. Indiana, number 5. Golden State, number 7. Cleveland, 10.
Yep.
Golden
And then
State.
it's a bunch
yeah.
of it's a bunch of mid teams because you got, like I said, Atlanta, Chicago, San Antonio, Memphis, and Phoenix. The only really bad team that mix is Toronto.
I'll save my harping on the Hawks for later.
But yes, they need to pass the ball. Plain and simple. Just do it. Be league average. Be league average or above league average in passing the ball, and things will be better. Case closed.
I want to say they were also like really close to the bottom in literal passes made. I know the NBA tracks that somehow, but they they just hold on to the ball so much, and it's like it's just such an old like that style of game is just passing the league by, and sometimes they can you can win against like Washington or whatever playing that way, but like you can't win that way in the playoffs. Like the game is just moving past it, and so yeah, I definitely agree.
Make one more pass joke.
All right. Well, since we're talking about things that are so important for the Bucks just to do in general, what's the biggest, or not the biggest thing? What must they do to win an NBA championship in 2026?
Okay. I've already said mine. Mine is top 5 in defensive rating. Their offense is going to be I don't know, if you look at a sliding scale or whatever, you expect their offense to be you'd be happy if it was 13th. We'd be happy with that. And so
No. Can I say no?
Sorry, what would you expect their offense to be? More.
That's a different question.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if they are to win a title, I mean, their defense has to more than make up for their offense. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Giannis just makes their offense good somehow. But yeah, I would say if they to win a title, which is an extremely high bar, they would have to have an insanely good defense. So yeah.
And I was curious because I did take a look. They finished 10th in offensive rating last year, 115.1. They finished 12th in defense, so you were right, 112.7, and had the 11th best net rating in the league last year.
Makes sense.
So, but yes, I agree. They're one of those two things is going to have to be an extremely good thing, and I of those two, I would probably say the defense. It would be the more likely of the two to take that jump into being really good.
I love that it's called net rating. This is my shortest answer, which isn't saying much. Similar to Jack, what I had above, achieve some semblance of top depth, finding a 3 and a 4. Yeah, having quote unquote depth is fine for the regular season when you're playing 10, 11 guys, but when you're in the playoffs and you need to constrict that to 6, 7, 8, it can't be all a bunch of 6 through 10s. Yeah.
Cool.
I will say,
be better, you know?
I will say, I am very proud of you both. Neither one of you said win 16 games in the playoffs or win 4 playoff series. So congrats to you on that.
That's beneath even me.
For me, I think the biggest thing is just be consistent. You're going to have ebbs and flows through the season. And I know that there are going to be stretches where you might lose 4 or 5 games in a row. And there are going to be stretches when you win 4 or 5 games in a row. Just the natural ebb and flow of playing 82 games in like
or
5
12.
months. 12.
Go Brewers.
I can't even with that right now. I'm not even going to engage with that.
Cubs have been playing well too. Don't worry.
I'm trying to avoid Chicago sports that are depressing me. Like you saw the misery index I'm in. I don't need to be dealing with it. But no, I think they just need to have first of all, they need to have a better start than they did last year when they were like 2-8 to start the year. Like they need to be better than 2-8. But then just that goes right along with just being more consistent. Like I don't know about you guys, but I feel like ever since Dame or been with the Bucks, there's been some semblance of like chaos going on with this team. Obviously, Dame coming in late, the new head coach gets fired in the middle of the year. Doc Rivers is watching film in a hotel in Indianapolis without a home in Milwaukee while he's coached for a while. Then you go through a whole new season. You trade away Chris Middleton and try and integrate Kyle Kuzma midway through the season. You'll also try and integrate KPJ and Ryan Rollins and AJ Green and Jericho Sims. I feel like this year, obviously, it's going to be a very different team, but all those changes and all what you can work out has been happening and will happen this offseason and training camp and in preseason. All the craziness of changing the roster has already happened and changing the leadership. That has already all happened. So I think things will hopefully be calmer on that front, but we will see. There's always seems to be some sort of drama or craziness going. And I even forgot Bobby Portis getting suspended for taking the wrong
oh my god
painkiller.
Happens to the best of us.
So I think that's just the main thing. They need to be more consistent, and hopefully that will come with a much more stable environment for everyone involved.
That's a great point. I will say with Doc, for better or for worse, consistency can be a good thing, but also like Doc started just like insisted on starting Taurean Prince all season last year, and it's just like, I think like Taurean Prince probably got like there's good in that because Taurean Prince hit a lot of his threes, and he's just like, okay, I'm going to start. I'm coming out at this point. I'm going to play X amount of minutes, blah, blah, blah. I would say, like, on the consistency front, like, like I was talking a bit about this in the open, like, let's say it's KPJ and Cole Anthony are going to split 48 minutes in point guard, and AJ Green's going to be the sixth man, or he's going to be the starting 2 guard, and Ryan Rollins has got his responsibilities as a point of attack guy, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I think for all Doc's flaws, he actually does, from night to night in the regular season, create comfort with his players in their roles. And I think that's somewhat of a boon for your point about consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Just an image in my head of like Doc like tucking them in at night.
Before you even said it, that's what I thought of too. I'm like, he's gonna say he's talking about tucking them in at bed at the hotel or something. That's
like it's like, are you comfortable in your role here in this bed? Do you need a glass of warm plant-based milk?
Did you get your feta cheese, Giannis? Are you happy?
I got nothing to say about that.
Well, the season's preview podcast episode wouldn't be complete without some prognostications in our midst. So, predict where the Bucks will finish in the Eastern Conference and how far will they go and not look like a complete idiot like me and say the Bucks will win the 2025 title.
Unfortunately, you found my other Achilles. The first Achilles being how basketball is played. And my second being how teams other than the Milwaukee Bucks play it.
Yes.
I know nothing about the rest of the league. I read our own, I believe it was Nate's Eastern Conference, which other Brew Hoopers, certainly not me, contributed to. Garbage out. I didn't want to hurt that preview. I had reread this. I had read this article when it came out. I reread it and learned things, which is great. Already read it. Did y'all know that Duncan Robinson's on the Pistons?
I
I
did.
did.
Yo,
I
that's
did.
good. He was on the,
He's the Malik Beasley replacement.
he's
Yeah.
on
Dot.
yeah.
How far is he replacing him? What are we
He's doing a
talking
lot of
here?
work. Got a great dentist. Yeah, the Williams College his finest. He was on the Heat for so long. That's crazy. Usually I find out about these things when we play them during the I was thrilled to be ahead of the game. So with that in mind, that caveat, I have Cavs, Knicks, Magic, surprise, Bucks. There's always going to be some team that sneaks up on me, hence surprise. Cavs and Knicks are good. Magic, I guess, got better. All people out there saying that the Hawks are going to be good. And to those people, I ask, the Hawks,
Hey, they got Tingus Pingus in there, man.
Yeah,
The
Nikhil
Hawks.
Alexander Walker.
the Hawks,
Got Dyson
No.
Daniels, Risha
the
Say,
Hawks,
Onyeka Okongwu,
the Hawks. Yeah.
Mohamed Gouye.
No. Okay, now we're just showing off. I don't care how fine Quinn Snyder's glasses are. It's not happening.
Those red lenses are nice, man.
And it's Detroit. Like, come on. So I like our chances to finish fifth, which was within the Brew Hoops confidence interval of 5th to 7th. More optimistic than I actually feel, but Selah, which would put us against, depending on whether the Magic or Surprise come out on top. I like our chances against either the Magic or Surprise. So I'm simply praying for the second round, mostly to keep the Vultures at bay. Not that will keep them at bay. Whether we'll have the right lineups and the right people to fill those lineups to get there, big ol' TBD.
Yeah. Yeah, this first off, I love Morgan's analysis, just like the Hawks and the Pistons just like historically have not been good and thus cannot be good.
Literally, I don't think I know so much about what has happened in the past.
Very true.
And listen, relative to how little I know in the future, it's a safe bet. like
Now we're thinking. Now we're using our brains.
yeah.
We're unlocking the other 90% of our brain.
There is a lot more data in the past than
There
in the
is
future. Yeah.
so much more, infinitely more, Jack. And like, I consider it a miracle that Desmond Bane is on the Magic. I learned that like a month ago, like the curve. That's old news for Morgan. That's set in. I've realized the Magic might surpass us. All power to them. Think we could still beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, I love it. Okay. I had them like fifth in the East. I hate these questions because I have to grapple with reality, and in my mind, I just want to think that the Bucks are going to be the best team and they're going to win the title, and just ignore all outside noise and just shove my head in the sand and think that that's what's going to happen. And these questions force me to be actually be realistic. But anyway, fifth in the East. I didn't really rank the teams. I don't know. I just Cleveland, New York will be probably 1 and 2. Atlanta, Detroit. Just for Morgan, I'm just gonna say those those teams are ahead. No, I'm
ignoring
I'm
history.
No, I'm no. To be honest, I think Detroit may actually be behind the Bucks. I think, in all seriousness, losing Malik Beasley because he is apparently a dumbass is gonna hurt them. Anyway, so yeah.
Have you not seen that they got Duncan Robinson?
Yes. Yeah. So feasibly they could move up to fourth or third. Wouldn't be too surprised. But I'm just gonna be conservative and or 2-1. Very true. Very true. If they get that number 1 defense, maybe.
No. The 10th seed is saved for the Bulls. Hands off.
And then I just wrote I don't know, second round exit. But once I say this on this pod, I'll never utter these words again, and then I'll just go back to shoving my head in the sand and hoping they win the title. So that's where I'm at.
I'm gonna piggyback off immediately on the shoving head in the sand to make a plug for social science, my day job. So obviously we all know that I now study how phones are destroying the world, but previous Morgan studied memory psychology, and there's a theory called support theory. I think I've probably written about it before, but essentially when you're making evaluations about something, a lot of times, so for example, you're ranking the Bucks and you kind of then glom the rest of the league together as if it's one entity, as opposed to 29 distinct entities that very much could beat the Bucks. And in my own plug research, essentially, you when you ask people to rank that one thing and then you don't ask them to unpack all of those other things, they tend to be much more optimistic about the chances of the one thing that they're ranking, as opposed to ask them, okay, if you ask what's the percentage that the Bucks are going to win the title, you say some number. If you ask people before that, what's the chances for Cleveland, New York, Atlanta, 0, Detroit. If you go through and unpack those other opportunities and then come back to the Bucks, people are going to say something lower. And I think, Jack talking about reality hitting when you remember that there are other teams, at least for me, this really comes to, it's not just Bucks against the field that makes it seem like it's the Bill Nye the Science Guy against someone who doesn't believe in climate change. It's not actually 1 versus 1. It's the Bucks against everyone. The Bucks are the climate change deniers in this equation.
This podcast is awesome, man.
The Bucks are flat earthers, confirmed.
That was really interesting, actually.
Yeah. See, learning.
Take my classes. Fun. Yeah. Past my bedtime. Come out of Over to you, Jackson.
Okay. I don't know how to follow that up, to be perfectly honest. That was beautiful.
He says that was interesting in a surprise tone.
No, because I was gonna say that was actually interesting, but then I retracted that actually because it makes it sound surprised.
Right.
Because I genuinely did think it was interesting.
You just conveyed it non-verbally instead.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna pick the Bucks to finish 4th in the East. I think I'm gonna kind of circle the wagons on Cleveland, New York, and Orlando, finishing that top 3, and then if I had to round out the rest of those teams in that similar mix, I'd say Atlanta's probably 5th, Detroit's 6th again, and then God, I don't even. Maybe Philly gets 7th with a healthy Embiid and Jared McCain and Paul George, and then you kind of go from there. Maybe the Raptors take a jump into the play-in.
Who?
but yeah, I think 4th or 5th is a fair play. Honestly, though, I would hate to play the Hawks in the first round, because like there's been a thorn in the Bucks side, and I think objectively they did get better as a team.
Feels like
If
Trae
Porzingis
Young
is
kills
healthy.
us every game, doesn't it?
It's not even Trae Young, dude. It's Jalen Johnson of all people. I remember that game in December or whatever when they played them, and he was just going off, and I'm like, I hate this team.
The only good
so
thing about
much.
him is he's always injured. So the Bucks actually haven't played him that much, but
him and Porzingis.
Not good for him, but good for the Bucks that he.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was really clear. We heard you loud and.
Jack is wishing for injuries. # canceled. But no, I think a top 4 finish is within reach. It's just how are these other teams going to mesh? Oh, not even Philly 7th. I think Boston and then Indiana will get 7 and 8 to kind of round out that top 8, and then 9 and 10.
It's going to be so annoying when Anthony Simons just like propels Boston to the 3 seed, and we're like, damn it, these freaking guys again.
Why would you say something like that?
Marquette legend Sam Hauser is going to average 20 just because.
Yeah. They like randomly just signed like Chris Boucher, and he turns into like the 25th best center in the league or whatever.
But in terms of playoff finish, I'd say honestly, with how wide open the East is, and I would expect Tatum and Halliburton to be out for like even heading into the playoffs, I think the Bucks make the conference finals.
Yeah, neither of those guys will play. Surely.
Yeah, it would be like it would take them like if they reached the finals, they would play type of thing.
I believe the Pacers GM already ruled Halliburton out for the season.
They did, so, and that makes sense. He got injured in Game 7 of the finals in June. Like there would be no way he would play this year unless they got to like the finals again somehow. Which with Obi Toppin and Jay Huff as their center rotation, I could not handle that.
Who are we beating? Cleveland or New York?
See, this is the running into reality part again, Morgan.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
gotta
think
unpack the alternatives
because I forget how the bracket works. Because who does 4 or 5 play? Did they play the 1 seed in the second round? Is that how that?
Yes, or the 8 seed,
or the 10 seed.
The Chicago Bulls. They're finally going to do it. They're going to make the playoffs out of the play-in. If you lose the 7-8 and then win the second game,
the 7 seed could be.
Yeah, I guess
so. It could be
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
literally.
I was going to say the 7 seed can't play the 1 seed, and then I realized that no, they actually now can play the 1 seed.
Could be the 9 seed too. You never know.
Think outside the box.
But yes, I would say between those 2 matchups, I feel a lot better about them playing. Like if the Cavs got the 1 seed, I think they could bully ball them. Like I think Jarrett Allen and Myles Turner are on a similar plane in terms of their ability, and Giannis just dogs Mobley. As much as Bill Simmons wanted to trade them straight up for each other.
Jesus.
So, but yeah, I think we could beat Cleveland. I would have a hard time seeing them beat the Knicks, considering I think they lost by like an average of like almost 20 points against the Knicks last year. And they're relatively the same team with a couple of improvements, getting like Yabusele.
They got Yabusele?
Yeah.
Spoiler.
My brother, that was 2 months ago. So I think the second round exit if they play the Knicks, conference finals if they play the Cavs in the second round. That's my pick.
In honor of the 10th year anniversary, and in light of Atlanta and Detroit, I say history has its eyes on you.
What's the 10th anniversary of? I'm confused.
Of Hamilton.
Hamilton's 10 years old?
Yeah, growing up.
Oh. First I learned Hamilton's 10 years old, and then I have kids who were born in 2010 and 2011 in high school. What could go wrong next? Make me feel old. But on to more positive things, and to not necessarily Bucks related things. You kind of spoiled it at the beginning.
Are we sure that we're not doing any more Bucks related things, or are we saving the final Bucks related things?
We'll see.
We'll see
how long this takes.
We're only an hour 45 in, Jackson. Come
on. All right. You kind of spoiled it at the beginning, but I'm still going to put it on the screen anyway. I meant to put wide. Where in the wide world is Morgan Ross?
No, it's not wide. It's the world.
Sorry, I shouldn't be body shaming the planet. That's my fault.
No, thank you. We pivot into my area of expertise, which is not basketball. I want to take you on a journey, okay, to a village in the United Kingdom. So, in June/July, spent some time with the fam and the rallies in England. We have family in a little town called Edale, Edale. It is, I think, 300 people. It is it's in a rolling English countryside valley. It is the heart of the Peak District National Park, which is the first ever national park in England. And it is the start of the Pennine Way, which is a 3-week famous hiking trail up into Scotland. I recommend it, especially if you can stay with your rellies there and have them feed you copious amounts of pie while you walk it off each day and stay in their former horse stables at night. When you think England, you might think like flat sheepies, kind of, right? But you got in that region, you have rolling hills. It gets to about 2,000 feet, 600 meters for our down under friends.
Yeah.
And basically like half of the top 10 hikes in England are in this region, because you have the rolling green hills, but you also have some really cool rock formations. You have some really nice forests. There's a couple of reservoirs nearby. There are a bunch of little cute tiny towns that you can stop at for cafes and coffees, and you can kind of bus and train between them. Super, super nice. One of those rock formations, when I, back in the day in high school, got my AP scores on top of one of those rocks to get like the cell service from above. And they even have some waterfalls in good old England. You might not expect that, but unfortunately, someone passed away falling off one of them while we were there. So,
oh my gosh!
PSA to make sure that you don't do that. Do not get close to the edge of the rock and fall. Condolences, obviously, but stay safe out there. Instead, you should go to our cute little hidden waterfall where we had a lovely time with cousins going in the absolutely freezing like mountain runoff water, really idyllic, moss everywhere, green, actually rainforest in the middle of England. And we had a lovely time. There were 3 like British lads who came and watched us, just stared at us like go into the water and then ask us if the water was cold, which they probably could have told that by our shrieking. At which point they gave it a go, stripped down to their boxers, and then cannonballed in. So if they're listening to this, I see you. Proud of y'all taking the plunge. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice British vacation, might I humbly suggest Edale. Fly into Manchester. It's only an easy 5-pound train ride away. Nice lodging in the area. You've got Kinder Peak. You've got the Great Ridge. You've got all the things. So
sounds like a real diamond in the rough.
Is where I was in the world. Indeed, the roughest diamond.
And I was just looking at it because I love maps, and I was trying to figure out exactly where it is. Like, for any soccer people out there, or football for the rest of the world, it's an hour drive to Manchester. If you're a Manchester
Correct.
City or United fan, you go there.
Yep.
And it's only an hour and a half from Liverpool. So if you're going to get any Liverpool fans out there.
And if you only want to drive half an hour, you are half an hour away from Sheffield Wednesday, the only team worth noting in Sheffield. They are proudly in second division football in England. And I don't want to hear anything about financial mismanagement and not. And they were docked 12 points at the beginning of last season, started with negative 12 points in the table. I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to hear any of that.
Perfect. Then we won't say that then. All right. On to our second non-Bucks related thingamajig. It's been a long time since I've been able to do this, and I'm happy to be back to do it. It's Jackson's build time. This is the time. If you spent the last hour and 50 minutes listening to this podcast on Spotify or somewhere else that's audio only, this is the time to go to YouTube. As Riley has said, this is the most visual segment in Brew Hoop. I don't know if he said Brew Hoop podcast history, but for Deer Diaries, this is the most visual aspect. I'm going to see if I can single myself out, and I'm going to go grab my Lego and be back in like 2 seconds. Let's see. No. I do this. Why is it not letting me pick someone else? Let's see.
Why do we need to pick someone?
Because I'm trying to have myself as the main part of the screen. But that's fine. No worries. We'll figure it out. I'll be right back.
I guess in the meantime, there's a little bit of basketball going on down under. Sorry.
Okay.
You do not have time.
I thought he was going to be 2 minutes. Sorry.
Man said 2 seconds. Come on.
Sorry.
Okay.
You're good.
All right.
Keep it cooking.
Here we go. So this.
Yo, I have that.
You have this one?
It's not to, sorry. Immediately. Yeah.
So this, fine people at home, this is the new Star Destroyer, aka the affordable one, and not the one that has been retired and costs like over $1,000. Yeah, people get crazy on the resale market for Lego, best believe. Yeah, this was extremely fun. I've always wanted like a bigger like Star Wars battleship. This took, I think, 2.5 days maybe total build time. Like there's like 13 or 14 bags of Legos to build, obviously mostly gray. Fun aspect here is that it has little I guess guns, you could say, here that if you push down it launches a little green projectile. I don't think that caught the screen at all, but there we go. And then the very cool part,
Ja Morant over here.
That was good. You can take off this main part, and inside you can flip this out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then there's an entire like interior with like designs for the ship and battle plans and seats where people can work at. It came with the Darth Vader minifigure, some like Imperials, a Stormtrooper, and it's part of like Lego anniversary stuff. There's like a Cal Kestis for any Star Wars video game players out there from the Star Wars Jedi series.
Did you say Kyle Kuzma?
No, someone who actually contributes to winning in Cal Kestis.
Okay.
Who actually does something beneficial to society.
I had a open at number 4 on my list of important players. I'll include them.
Sweet. And then if I can get this in, this is always the hardest part to get it back in, is the one annoyance I have with this set, but it's not terrible. I won't pull it back up, but there's like, if you take this part off, there's like a hook handle thing that you can like hold to like move and like play with this whole thing. So as always, I give my Lego brick rating for this, and I give this one 5 out of 5 Lego bricks. If you have the money to go get this and build this, especially for a raging Star Wars nerd like me, please do so. Hashtag not sponsored.
Truly, in many ways, the Kyle Kuzma of Lego. 5 out of 5 bricks.
Okay, I was like, where's he gonna go with this? What is he about to say?
I have a lot of follow-up, apparently. So I have that. Want to be clear, I am old. I don't believe it was. Yeah, I don't think that was Richie McRich of me. But yeah, is awesome. And I say this with that in mind, knowing that I literally own the exact same thing. Your attachment to the build, to the Lego, to the Star Wars, like what's the? Can you unpack?
So Star Wars started when I was a wee lad. When I was like maybe like 5 or 6 years old, we had like a whole bunch of Star Wars toys, like lightsabers, starfighters, action figures, the whole thing. Just big into Star Wars as kids. We kind of did Lego a little bit when we were younger, but this newfound obsession is like 2 or 3 years. The last few years, like it's been kind of something to have like outside of like sports and life and video games to kind of just like put your concentration elsewhere. The only problem is that it's a very expensive hobby because it's Lego, and then you throw what I call the Star Wars tax on top of it. So some sets get very, very pricey, aka sets that cost up to like $850, like that are still active. Jesus. Like they're huge. There's like a ton of pieces, but like there's no discernible reason that thousands of pieces of plastic should cost what is like half of a rent payment in some places. But overall, that's why I get other people to buy them for me, or I buy the cheaper ones on my own. So, but yes, overall, it is a very fun and enjoyable hobby and something I like that kind of calms me down and lets me focus on something else. So, Jackson's Bills. All right. Do we want to get out of here, or do we want to do our
We have 2 more segments. We have 2 more segments.
We have 2? I only know of 1.
Sorry, I was just going to... Well, okay, I didn't plan for this, but as you were getting your thing, I thought we were going to have 2 minutes to talk, and I realized that there's no basketball going on in the Outback currently, or professional basketball, I should say. But the Boomers are playing in the Asia Cup, which for some reason is in Jeddah, which is in Qatar, I think. And
Saudi Arabia?
Sorry, you're correct. Saudi Arabia. I don't know. My geography is so bad. So, but yeah, the Boomers
Confirmed.
are 4-0. They beat who'd they beat last night? They beat the Philippines last night, and they're playing Iran in the next game. And the only Bucks link here is former Bucks two-way player from 2 seasons ago, Jalen Galloway, has been the best player on the team. So let's hope the mighty Boomers can they're the favorite to win, so let's hope they win. But it is really weird how the tournament is in Jeddah and there's like no one really in the crowd, and that makes me curious as to if there was some hashtag politics involved in that decision. But I digest.
You digress or digest?
No, I'm just. It's this
Okay.
dumb. I listen to this dumb podcast where they say I digest, and so I decided to do I digest.
Okay, boomers.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
fantastic.
that's my obligatory Tales from the Outback update from here. Yeah.
Tales from the Outback. Okay.
What was the other segment, Morgan?
It was that one. But
What
I think the other one he was referring to is the one I came up with. And that is our Bucks role player draft. So, name of the game is we will draft a starting 5 of our favorite Bucks role players. And yes, this is like an actual draft, which means if someone picks someone, you can't pick them.
What?
So you have to think strategically. Pick a starting 5. The only stipulation is they can have never made an all-star team. That is the one stipulation I'm putting. They can have never made the all-star team in their career. Even one appearance knocks them out from contention.
Who's going? I haven't given this a lick of thought.
That's.
We can't save this for another day if we want.
No, what's the draft order, and then are we snake drafting or what?
We will do snake draft. As host, I will automatically put myself in third.
Suspicious, but okay.
I don't want to have the first pick. I don't want to have rules of saying it's rigged.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell my phone to flip a coin. As I call it,
Tails.
I'll go with. I was going to say seniority. Morgan, you have first right to call it, so you'll say
as interim managing editor. I'm the interim managing editor now.
All right, here we go. Flip a coin.
Oh, I have
Morgan.
a die. I could just. Oh, perfect.
You already got it. You have the first pick, Morgan, of the Bucks role player draft.
Okay. With the first pick in the inaugural Bucks role player draft, the Morgan Quinn Rosses selects the pride and joy of Kazakhstan, Ersan Ilyasov.
No! Oh, damn it. Okay.
Take charge of our team.
Yes. I love it.
All right, Jack, with your pick.
Oh God. Okay. I don't know. Give me George Hill.
Ooh.
What kind of pomp and
backup point
circumstance
guard.
was that? Come on.
Oh, all right. And now
It's a good pick.
Yes, it is. George Hill's a really good one. I like that. And so, yes, it is snake draft, so I will have the last pick and then the first pick of the second round. So with my first pick, and I'm just going to say it right now, I'm building my backcourt with these picks. You have to go with the heart and soul, the grit and grind. One of the grittiest players of all time. Give me Matthew Dellavedova as my starting point guard.
Oh, I should have taken him.
I was like, it was between him and Ilyasova. It was like, it's one of those guys drops. That's who I'm going with. And then to round out my backcourt, keeping with the grit and grind, the high IQ player, the sneaky athletic, we're going to go with one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. We're going to go Kyle Korver.
Ooh. Dreamy.
So, Jack, is your pick now.
Okay. Okay. Give me Steve Novak.
Ooh.
What? Steve Novak's.
Yeah, Steve Novak. Yeah.
I didn't even catch that. That was good.
Huh.
All right, Morgan, you have back-to-back picks.
Dang it. That's not. Well, okay. Give me. Okay. With the 6th pick in the inaugural Bucks role player draft, the Morgan Quinn. What's my name? Morgan Quinn Ross selects the Prince of Cameroon himself, Luke Richard Ba'amute.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Who,
That I like.
given my tentative lineup construction, will potentially be playing the 2. So, as I assemble my Titanic. Okay. With the 7th pick in the inaugural Bucks role player draft, the Morgan Quinn Rosses select 8 points on 4 dunks, Dan Gadzarich,
Who?
i.e.
Who?
my icon. We paid that man $8 million a year for 8 points a game, 4 dunks, chef's kiss.
Oh
Continue.
my God. Okay. Jack, it is your pick.
I'm trying to work out if this very obscure pick played for the Bucks. Oh yes, at center I got. I don't know if you guys are gonna. You guys would have to know this name, Miroslav Radulica. You guys remember Miroslav Radulica? Miroslav Radulic.
Yeah.
Did this player
This-
actually
the-
play an NBA game?
He's
the
a Serbian.
spelling
I
was-
believe he's Serbian.
The
Serbian,
spelling
right?
was the problem.
When Morgan said Gudzarich, it for some reason made me thought of like
Gadzarich.
Gadzarich, yeah, international centers, and I don't know why Miroslav Radulic's name popped into my head, but yeah, I'm gonna pick him. Do I go again now? Is that
No, so it's I go
Okay.
back to back because it's my turn.
okay? Okay.
Okay. Before I make one of my selections, I have to ask. Even though he never made an all-star team, is Brandon Jennings not really a role player? We're not going to count Brandon
Of
Jennings?
course
as a
he's
role-
not a role player.
Okay, I just had to ask. Okay, I had to ask.
You take
because
that back. You take that back.
I'm just because I was going with the stipulation. I said they never made an all-star team, and he never made an all-star team. So I'm just making sure. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep it with the international flair, just a little bit different. I'm going South America. I'm going Carlos Delfino as my small forward.
Ooh. I like that.
Good pull.
Okay. It's funny enough because I have all these Bucks players who I've been going through.
I'm like welling up in tears over my lineup. I would pay so much money to watch these men play.
I'm gonna keep it more modern, and I'm gonna go with the player who had the most potential in the Bucks modern era, and that is Thon Maker as my center.
Oh.
I
You
was
could
gonna
have
pick him.
gone a couple ways. Yeah. You're taking all the Aussies from our boy. That's funny.
It's a calculated strategy.
Man said, I hear Australia might win the Asia Cup. I got to get in on that.
Gotta go where the talent is.
Yeah, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
All right, so
Is
that's
it me
my
now?
back. So yes, you're
I've
back
completely
at number
lost
2.
track of.
You're
Okay.
because that was my first pick of the 4th round, so you're up.
Okay. Give me John Hook Henson. I'll put him at the 4.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Morgan, you're up.
With my final 2 picks of the inaugural Bucks role player draft, 12th and 13th. Honorable mention to fellow Tar Heel Kendall Marshall, who I still think was better than Michael Carter Williams. Just not saying much, but with the 12th pick, I select lanky, smooth, crab meme, Dreamboat. That school up north alum. Best stationary biker during the game. DJ Wilson.
Hey,
Yeah.
DJ.
Who I think we can...
The iconic crab meme. We love it.
Similar to the actual Bucks, I think it doesn't really matter who plays the 3, so we're just going to kind of have him play the 3, give him a coloring book, stand in the corner. It's fine. And then full circle with the final pick of my draft, similar to the final pick, I believe, of the NBA draft, the Kentucky product, Leap Potent.
Oh yes.
Christian Livingston. playing point.
Playing point.
I love how you called him Christian Living. His name is Christian.
James Christian Livingston.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo, I mean, y'all can just give up. You can
Oh, all right, Jack, you are up for your final pick.
All right. I'm going all in on one-dimensional shooting with Novak and the following player. UNLV standout, Rashad Vaughn.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God! I haven't thought about that in a
The
long
future.
time.
I love how like the prompt is role player, and Jackson was like, "Okay, these are good players." Jack and I were like, "So these players are ass, right?"
Pull Miroslav Radulica out my ass.
Okay. For my final pick, I'm gonna make a quick lineup change to my team.
What? What do you mean?
No,
What does that mean?
no longer playing the 3 is Carlos Delfino. He's being moved to
Okay.
the 4.
That's allowed.
Slotting in my starting at the small forward position, Maywood's very own Sterling Brown as my
Hey.
small forward.
Nice.
That's a good pick.
Okay.
I think Jackson's team's wins on basketball, but
What?
Morgan and I's win on vibes.
Have you seen? But
on ball knowledge.
Have you seen the vibes of my team though? I think it transcends vibedom to basketball.
read me your full squad.
You ready?
But with
Yeah.
their position, like what position are they playing?
I don't think you realize how lanky we like our length. Like move over Toronto. Like, the Rosses. You know, fearsome center, Dan Gadzarich. Stretch 4, charge taker, Irsan Ilyasova. Is a basketball player, DJ Wilson.
The 3.
Defensive stalwart, and again, to quote the iconic Reddit post, literally a prince of Cameroon or some shit. Luke Richard Ba'amute. And the key linking it all together, dishing it out, is James Christian Livingston.
And not just any James Christian Livingston, 2025 Summer League, James Christian
yes.
Livingston.
No, all the summer leagues, James Christian Livingston.
Oh no. He had his breakout in the Summer League. He had his Summer League breakout this year.
He broke
Yeah.
out. He cannot be contained. Yeah,
And
y'all should read your lineups.
Yeah, I got George Hill at the 1, Steve Novaks at the 2, John Henson. Rashad Vaughn at the 3, John Henson at the 4, and Miroslav Raduljica at the 5.
Super.
You're gonna have to send me his basketball reference page on Miroslav. I have to learn about this man. I've never heard that name in my entire life.
That's understandable because I know he played for the Wolves, but I was unsure if he played for the Bucks. But sorry, brain trade there.
You're good. What team is this about again?
Yeah.
It's super interesting mix of politics on that team because you have George and you have John, and you also have Steve bringing that to the table, and then you have whatever Miroslav is bringing to the table. It sounds a bit of a wild card, but okay.
Okay, and then Jackson? For me, I have the grittiest backcourt in NBA history with Matthew Dellavedova and Kyle Korver at the 1 and the 2, and then I have some culture and some Chicago vibes with Sterling Brown at the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would have been so good in this era as a stretch 4, like Ryan Anderson before Ryan Anderson, Carlos Delfino at the 4. And then
he just came too soon.
He did. And he was injured to hell after he signed with the Bucks the second time. And then the highest potential player to ever grace the Milwaukee Bucks at the 5, Thon Maker.
I thought it was going to be Marjan.
I thought about it later, but I kind of wish I had picked the guy I randomly met outside of Pfizer one night. I wish I would have picked Mamu for my 5.
Yo, Mamu. I'm not going to go full Adam Paris.
It's just been 5 Mamus and called it a day. All right. Any parting thoughts about what has occurred in the last 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Well, I hope not, because we've been going 2 hours and 16 minutes now.
I just want to say that I hope I left all my thoughts on the court. Thank you to Jackson for spearheading. I thought that was an excellent activity. Thanks to both of you for the ride. I think especially the second half I got a little interrupty, so hopefully that was received and cordially.
Well, thank the both of you for coming in. I know, Jack, you said you kind of shanghaied this, but it was really awesome to have you on. It's been a while since we've chatted a bit, so loved having you both on. Now it's time for plugs. Please go ahead. Make sure after you're done listening to this podcast, you head on over to brewhoop.com. We have a bunch of more articles coming out. I have an article about my basketball card collection and all of the former and current Bucks that are part of that collection. No, they will not be part of my waffle sandwiches or smoothies. So be on the lookout for that. I also have one on what if the staff of Brew Hoop was good at that, kind of good at basketball in the world of NBA 2K. That'll be coming out around the time 2K26 releases in late August.
The world of NBA 2K, which, as we recently learned last week, is actually inferior to the magical world of NBA math hoops.
As a retired NBA math hooper, I can agree.
What?
Yeah.
Like as a kid?
Well, no. When you brought it up, brought it up months
okay.
ago, I tried it out.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
retired from playing it briefly 2 months ago. Okay, less cool.
Exactly.
It was a short career, but
But I left it all on the court.
Injuries, man.
I ended on a win. That's all that matters.
Just you get older and you can't divide the way you used to.
How do I divide by 0?
It's hard.
But make sure to be on the lookout for that content, more Bucks content as we get closer to the season. I will be at Media Day, potentially with others, once that is announced. Schedule releases tomorrow, or whenever you're listening to this, it might already be out, so be on the lookout for that. And follow those of us who have the socials and who still decide to be on Twitter for whatever reason. So yeah, with all that said, guys, thank you so much for being on, and we will talk again soon.